Hey everybody, welcome back. Oh my goodness, I know it's been a long time since you guys see me and I posted a video. I wanted to do one months ago, well a couple of months ago when we started laying down this plastic. And if you guys know what's going on the East Coast, it's been like super wet. The whole winter time was like nothing but snow and rain and snow and rain. We really tried to get into the ground to get this plastic on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the plastic that we use to try to keep the weeds to a minimum. Problem is that, you know, in order to use a tractor to get this plastic down with the plastic layer, the soil has to be just right. It can't be wet or else it's just going to be getting stuck out there. So by the time we finally got one perfect Sunday to do it, right before it was going to rain again, and we just hauled butt to get all this down. All this plastic down, plus over there on the far field you can't see it from here, but yeah, so it's been hectic over here, and I wanted to show you guys these tomato stakes and how we got things going over here. So let's come over here and let's check this out. Alright, so what we're looking at here is a few rows of tomatoes we got, and each row has about 100 plants. And the tomatoes vary. We got green zebras over here with some Romas. We got some big beef with some pink brandies. Beautiful, beautiful tomatoes. And what we're going to be doing, or what we have been doing, is staking them up using what some of you guys probably already know. This is, I think the name of it is the Florida Twist. And basically is you take some string, you tie it around a stake, and these stakes, by the way, are 2x2 by 8. We got them at Home Depot, and you cut them in half and they make a 4-foot long stake, which isn't that tall. These are much taller. These stakes are, I think they're 1x1s, and I think they're as tall as 6 feet. And so when you stake them in the ground, you know, you're going to lose some height on that. But because these are green zebras, they're not going to get too tall, at least not in this soil. We have really sandy soil. And so if you're not really familiar with the Florida Twist, it's basically you take one string and you start from one side and you come over and then you go around, okay? And then you go back on the other side and then you go on the opposite side of the stake and you go around as well. And we go around probably a good 3 times around to make sure it's nice and tight. And then by the time you get to the very end, you go around the other side and you come around and to this back side, and that's what kind of makes it kind of, you know, trellised in like that. And these are probably about ready now to be trellised up again. So I'm gonna probably take some more string to it. And because it's been non-stop with the rain, every week we've been getting some rain, the weeding has not been easy to do. We've been taking the Troy-Bilt in between here, and I did try to do some hoeing, and unfortunately when it's really wet and the soil's really wet, it looks dry here, but when you start digging down you start seeing, let's see, that's damp. And when you come across these kinds of weeds, and these are big weeds, and normally you want to try to get them like around that size or smaller. And but either way, when it's wet, you're just gonna be wasting your energy because the weeds will just, you know, come right back. They're hard to get off. And so worst case scenario, we're gonna be using the weed whacker with this stuff. There's this other farmer I know who's got the same problem. And one of the things he decided to do is that instead of fighting the weeds and trying to get the rototiller and hoeing and all that kind of stuff, he said, you know what, let the weeds grow. I'm just going to take my lawnmower to it and then the weed whacker to the sides, because, you know, you can't get too close over here, even if you did have the Troy-Bilt rototiller, because of the plastic. And if it gets too close to the plastic, then you're going to be having some problems. But let me show you guys what we got at the in the high tunnel. What we're looking at here is our early variety tomatoes, and as you could probably see here, we have cages here, and we like using the cages. Now, because these are our early varieties, these are aren't going to get too big, and they're determinate tomatoes, so they're going to be, or have been producing already right now in the end of May. I think it's the 27th or something like that. God, what's today's date? I don't even know. Today's date is the 27th. Okay. And over here on this particular row, and you can see we use the stake method with the Florida twist. Same thing with these guys. And these are cherries, in case you haven't noticed. This whole row right here is all cherries. And you got some sweetie cherry over here. And let me show you guys what I did with this, because these are planted pretty close together. Very close. I mean, usually you would say, you know, oh, a tomato plant shouldn't be planted any more than what, 12 inches, you know, 16 inches apart. But because these are so small, I mean, we've only planted them, you know, maybe about 8 to 10 inches apart. And so we have 3 in this row. As you can see, we have 3 here. And now these are a really interesting variety. This is a Red Robin variety, which is, this is my first time seeing them grow this year. And they're really short, and you know, but they produce a lot of tomatoes. Really nice. There's a nice ripe one right there. And they're pretty sweet. I like them. Now, because these guys were so close together last year, I really wanted to do a better method of staking them up, so I kind of did a mimicking of the Florida twist, only on this one, because they're so close together, I just basically went from this stake around, and then came around the other side, and then went to the next stake, around, up, around, down, around, and basically repeated the same thing all the way down. Okay, and as you may see here, I've already gotten four times that I've done that from the way bottom. I mean, I started at about, I don't know, what is that, 8 inches from the bottom, and every 6 to 8 inches I did it again. So, and it's proven to be a pretty nice method. It's just a matter of keeping these guys within the string as they're growing up, because once they get too tall, some of them, you know, once it gets to a certain height and you can't get it, then you're going to risk cracking it or breaking it, and it's just not worth it. Just go to the next one. So, but yeah, so things are looking pretty good over here. We got these tomatoes in cages over here, and these are the bigger guys. And we have some early girls. We have, let's see, if my memory serves me correct, but as you can see now, these ones, because these are bigger tomatoes, we stake these tomato plants individually. So each tomato plant has their own stake, and we did that because these guys are going to be producing some pretty heavy tomatoes. And look at that one, really nice. So, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys real quick. And it's been way easier weeding over here in the high tunnel, obviously, because it's a controlled environment. You don't have it raining in here all the time. You know, we water when we need to, and that's the nice thing about having a high tunnel, is that we don't have the issues with flooding and, you know, just water all over the place, which makes it much more difficult to not only till, but also to weed with the hoe and so on. So that's it, guys. I am burning up in here. It's probably like over 100 degrees in here. I know outside it's like 95 or something like that. So I am probably raining right now. But so that's it for now. I just wanted to show you guys a real quick glimpse of what we do here to support our tomato stakes. And it's important that once you know you're going to be planting tomatoes, is to have a plan of how you're going to, you know, have the structure for it. I mean, if you only have like 10 tomato plants, it's not that big a deal. And if you can get the cages, that's probably the best way to do it. They just have the best support all around. The problem is storage, you know, where you're going to put it, you know, that kind of thing could be, you know, if you got like 20, 30, 40, 50, it could be problematic of finding a place to store them. And when you're in the hundreds, you know, forget about it. Okay, so take one more look at the beautiful high tunnel, and we'll see how the season goes. So far so good. It's been a, you know, pretty decent. It's supposed to rain, thunderstorm today. Let me show you guys the sky. We're expecting thunderstorms, 50% chance. So I've been trying to deal with making some ditches to redirect the rain, because if we're having some flooding issues, that's a whole nother story. All right, guys. So that's it, and I hope you guys are getting all your tomatoes growing already. If you haven't, it's not too late. You know, you can go to the farmer's market and buy one already, you know, grown, and just plop them in the ground. All right, so I'll see you guys next time. Take care.